Good morning, students. Today's class we will see some of the common questions which asked in the management of nursing service and education. In this presentation, we are dealing with these 5-7 questions. The first one, recruitment and selection of faculty, student welfare program, student government management theories, nurse practitioner, staff evaluation, and qualities of a nurse leader in effective ward management. We will see one by one. The first one, recruitment and selection of faculty. Recruitment is the process of searching from the prospective employees and stimulating them to apply for the jobs in an organization. Recruitment enables the management to select suitable employees for different jobs. The recruitment and selection procedures may vary from different colleges of nursing depending upon the controlling body, whether the government, private, or autonomous. Qualification. Academic qualification of the teaching staff is important in achieving the objective of the school program. The requisites include select a person who can be immense help to achieving the objectives of the program. Consider the person's abilities and academic qualification. See that if he will able to do the work with the students to lead and guide them and to contribute to their development. See that the person is able to establish harmonious relationship with others, should be mentally alert, emotionally stable and physically fit. Should be capable of projecting good image of nursing which will help desirable attitude in the students and community. Factors considering for the selection include general education, basic professional education, advanced education, specialization, professional experience, personality trait and character, interest and in nursing profession. Professional qualification for each staff prescribed by Nursing Council, university and state government should be followed. Desirable qualities of a candidate include good nurse who likes nursing, gain more and more knowledge and applies the principles to improve on nursing practice. She is clear-headed, have a good command over voice and express herself well. She enjoys studying, takes initiative to study and adds to her personal and professional ability. She is seen as a resourceful person. She is free from serious defect in personality, speech, voice, physique, etc., which would interfere with her work. She is interested in activities concerned with welfare of other people. She has well-defined goals and necessary strength of character and self-confidence to carry out her plan and commitment. Process of selection and step notification in writing. In government setup, usually PSC will do it regarding the type of post, vacancies, qualifications, salary, and other conditions of service and other details of the application. Scrutinizing the application, written test, interview and aptitude test, medical checkup, consultation with employees, appointment letter and placement. Second question is student welfare program. The student welfare is an important part of total school program. It broadly covers the physical, mental and social well-being. Such needs of a student will be met partially by facilities provided in the hostel and partially through the active and adequate student health guidance and counseling service and opportunities for recreation and for cultural and religious activities. The policies include the implementation of the student welfare program requires formulation of a number of policies, some of which will be in relation to the number and nature of physical health examination to be done during the course period, appointment of a physician responsible for student health, the scope of functions of health clinic, action to be taken and facilities made available when the student falls sick, the maximum amount of sick leave which may be taken during the course and action to be taken when it exceeds, the arrangements to be made for student counseling, the extent to which provision will be made to follow their own religious practice, including participation in important festivals. Student health service is designed to permit maximum benefit from the school experience to minimize any risk which they might be exposed or to which they might expose others and to promote good health habits which will be lasting and which they can apply in their practice of nursing and to give students their required care when they fall sick. Counseling. As a student enters into a new profession which is entirely different from other courses, they may need counseling. Counseling has become highly specialized profession with its own particular skill. A qualified counselor is recruited if policy permits, otherwise teaching staff can meet average needs of majority of the students. If they feel particular student need counseling by a professional counselor, she may be likewise referred. Recreational and cultural activities. The college has opportunities towards the students to make it possible for them to continue with the leisure time interest they have already acquired as far as it is compatible with the objectives of the program, as well as to guide them in developing cultural, social, and creative activities which can be pursued in a college of nursing, such as music, drama, reading, needlework. Student government. Government by the student usually requires the setting up of a student association of the colleges to function as officially recognized organization of the students. The council, which would be executive organ of the student organization, should be composed of 2 or more elected representatives from each class. It should have a president, vice president, secretary, and should maintain accurate records of all its meetings. The objective of such student association is promotion of student welfare, development of cooperation and unity, establishment and maintenance of good interpersonal relationship with the staff, development of sense of responsibility towards their profession, development of skills in organized techniques and committee procedures, the promotion of the reputation of the school, the establishment of lines of communication association with other student groups in the community and country. Professional approach to the work. Functions of the student council are initiating and supporting the students' social, cultural, and professional activities, assisting with the orientation of new students, reviewing the school and hospital procedures and policies, and making recommendation in the respect when requested to do so, the interpretation and enforcement of school policies in appropriate situations, taking disciplinary actions when necessary in accordance with measures agreed upon by the members, receiving, investigating, and disposing of complaints related to the hostel, establishing the official channels of communication with the school staff in relation to the student council matters, appointment of representatives to serve the school and committees. Some of these functions will be executed by the council itself, and others may be carried out through the various committees as recreation, hostel, disciplinary, and reception committee. The staff of the College of Nursing may be invited to serve as ex-official members in some of the committee. However, when a college set up a student association for the first time, it is desirable that the staff should be offered to assist its organization, the formulation of its objectives, and determination of its functions. Later, also a staff may act as an advisor to the student council. Fourth one is management theories. Managing is one of the most important human activities. From the time human beings began forming the social organization to accomplish aims and objectives that they could not accomplish as individuals, managing has been essential to ensure the coordination of individual efforts. Management is an art or science of achieving the goals through the people. Since managers also supervise, management can be interpreted as meaning literally looking over, that is, making sure people do what they are supposed to do. The first theory includes scientific management school. The first management theory is what popularly referred as the Frederick Taylor's scientific management. Taylor's strongest positive legacy was the concept of breaking complex tasks down into a number of subtasks and optimizing the performance of subtasks. Hence, his stopwatch measured some trials. It also be acknowledged that from an economic standpoint, Taylorism has an extreme success. Application of this method yielded significant improvement in its productivity. Classical organization theory school. In this category, management theory are works on the Max Weber's bureaucratic theory and Henri Fayol's administrative theory. He believed that civilization has changing to seek technically optimal result at the expense of emotional or humanistic content. Henri Fayol administrative theory mainly focused on personal duties of management at a much more granular level. In other words, his work is more directed at the management layer. Fayol believed that the management had 5 principal roles: to forecast and plan, to organize, to command, to coordinate, and to control. Forecasting and planning was the act of anticipating the future and acting accordingly. Organization was the development of institutions' resources, both material and human. The third one is behavioral school. The key scholar under his category is Elton Mayo. The experiment conducted by his proved 5 things. First, the work satisfaction and hence the performance is basically not economic, depend more on working condition and attitudes that include communications, positive management response, and encouragement working environment. Second, it rejected Taylorism and emphasis on employee self-interest and claim overriding incentive of monetary rewards. Third, large-scale experiment involving nearly 20,000 employees show highly positive response to, for example, improvements in working environment and expressions of thanks and encouragement as opposed to criticism from the managers and supervisors. Fourth, influence of peer group is very high, hence importance of informal groups within the workplace. Finally, it denounced the rabble hypothesis that society is a horde of unorganized individuals in a manner calculated to secure his or her self-preservation or self-interest. The fifth question is nurse practitioners. Nurse practitioner, in short we call NP, is an advanced practice registered nurse who has completed graduate level education, either a Master of Nursing or Doctoral Nursing practice degree. Nurse practitioner treats both physical and mental conditions through a comprehensive history, taking physical exam, ordering and interpreting diagnostic tests. Nurse practitioners can diagnose the disease and then provide appropriate treatment for the patients, including prescribing medications. Nurse practitioners can serve as the patient's primary healthcare provider and see patients of all ages depending upon their specialty. The core philosophy of the field is individualized care who focus on patients' conditions as well as the effects of illness on lives of patients and their families. Nurse practitioners make prevention, wellness, and patient education priorities. In addition to healthcare service, nurse practitioners conduct research and are often active in patient advocacy activities. To become licensed or certified practice, nurse practitioners hold a national board certification in area of specialty and are licensed through the state nursing boards. According to the International Council of Nurses, nurse practitioner or advanced practice nurse is a registered nurse who has acquired expert knowledge base, complex decision-making skill, and clinical competencies for expanded practice, the characteristic of which would be determine the context in which she or he credentialed to practice. The sixth question is staff evaluation. Just as a student performance is monitored, staff performance also is reviewed. Indicators of the program quality states all able paid staff will be formally evaluated in writing on a yearly basis. The evaluation should be designed to serve the following purpose: to enhance the job performance, encourage professional growth, improve the program quality, and meet the core indicators of performance of staff who focus on consistently improving the performance, set the stage for advancement and accomplishment. The evaluation results then become tool for rewarding, encouraging, and planning for continued effective and efficient performance of individual staff members. Reason for evaluation: there are several reasons why employee evaluation is done. It is done to see if an employee deserves a change in position or a compensation, to determine if an employee is performing well during training, to see that employees needs to be terminated, or just as a part of continuous research on personnel that many companies conduct. Who is evaluating? The next step is to determine who going to perform this evaluation on a regular basis. This is based on the kind of information that is sought, and it may be involve one or more people. It's also a good idea to have a customers who and co-workers provide evaluation as well as the employees themselves evaluating the performance. This way all angles are taken care and the evaluation bound to be more comprehensive. Methods of evaluation: a comprehensive evaluation includes one that focuses on employees' traits, behavior, and results, although some organizations focus on any one or two of these traits. Trait method: if an evaluation system where the focus on the traits of the employee, the punctuality, the discipline, helpfulness, dependability, among other traits are looked at. Many experts are of the opinion that this is very biased evaluation related to the circumstances. It has also been found that the accuracy of this type of evaluation is low, and it is advised that this form of evaluation to be used supplement other type of evaluation. Behavior focus: this entails the focusing of behavior of an employee. This is actually entails looking at what each employee does, whether an employee is performing in an appropriate manner in a company or if any inappropriate behavior is noted. This trait rated poor, excellent on the rating scale. It shows which areas the employees excels and areas which they have to work on. Result focus: the last but the best form of evaluation is the one of the focus the performance of an employee. It shows what employee has accomplished in the job. This is the most commonly used employee evaluation tool that helps to gauging the employee's contribution to the company. It entails evaluating the quantity of the work done, quality of work done, and attendance of the employee safety. Informing the employee: once the employee evaluation system is in place, employees should be intimated as to the way that they are going to be evaluated. There should be no surprise in store for them, and they should know everything management is planning. This encourages the employees to show better result, which is what any company should be looking at. If some employees fails to live up with the mark in spite of having been told about the evaluation, the employer has legal right to terminate or take disciplinary measures. The actual employee evaluation, once the employees are informed, the next thing is to do is to put the system into practice. Employee evaluation cannot be a quick process, it is a continuous process and results taken either every month, 3 months, 6 months, or yearly, depending upon the company. This evaluation helps any administrative decisions as hiring, promotion, raises, and firing. These evaluation reports should consist both positive and negative aspects of an employee performance, and critical incidents involving the employees should be logged separately. Qualities of a nurse leader in effective ward management. Number one quality of a good nurse manager must have respect the staff as professionals. Nothing is worse than treating like a child in the workplace. A manager who disrespects her staff, especially in front of others, loses the staff respect in return. Second, set standards and clear professional example. Nurses are expected to behave professionally, and same hold the true for the managers. The nurse manager needs to be professional with her appearance, language, behavior, just as a staff nurse must be. Third, be organized yet creative and flexible. Many workers have unusual organization methods, but employees are affected when a nurse manager can't find an evaluation or forgets a deadline. The manager needs to be organized in a way that her staff can follow. She also needs to establish clear rules that she must be willing to adjust when necessary. Fourth, be an effective decision maker as well as conflict and crisis manager. The nursing staff expect the manager to make intelligent decisions when conflicts and problems arise. For example, managers should expect employees to attempt to resolve conflict among themselves. But manager need to realize that she might be asked to assist. No one like confrontations, but nurse manager who shrink from problems will only create more discord among the staff. Motivate and empower the staff. Change is necessary part of business, even the business of healthcare. The nurse manager needs to find ways to motivate and involve the staff. If a nurse manager displays a hopeless, cynical, or dispassionate attitude, so will be the staff nurses. Effective nurse manager is involved in the nursing staff on all levels, welcoming the input, work with them to ensure excellence, create autonomy, and increase job satisfaction opportunities for advancement. Sixth quality, have a good sense of humor. Nursing is one of the toughest and most stressful jobs around. Tension can become so overwhelming that laughing is the only alternative to crying. An effective manager understands this. We all are human, and sometimes appropriate humor can help the healthiest and most compassionate way to help staff and patient to cope. Seventh one, be honest, fair, consistent, and reasonable. Lying is one of the quickest ways to break someone's trust, as showing favoritism towards particular member of the staff, deceit of any kind devastating, and the relationship between manager and the staff. A good nurse manager knows that consistency matters. Working for the unpredictable manager escalates tension and inhibits work. Being unreasonable in expectations and day-to-day dealings can also be harmful. Eighth one, be a reliable resource and staff advocate. A nurse manager needs to have a solid clinical background, preferably in the specialty of the staff. Administrators often feel this is not necessary as long as the manager possesses a strong managerial skill. From the staff nurse perspective, however, the respect is lost if the manager is out of touch with what the specialized nursing staff does. B. Ninth one, be available and accessible to the staff. Admittingly, meetings and other managerial responsibilities are important, but the nursing staff needs to know that manager is available when needed. Acknowledging and incorporating staff suggestions whenever possible is also important to nurses. 10th, be a great communicator. Effective communication is one of the most important tools for the leads or a manager. Information should be conveyed in a clear manner. Staff should be informed of expectations and upcoming changes. Be given timely and accurate information and updates. Be listened to and receive positive feedback. One of the most frequent complaints in the nurses is that managers talk only to them when they are in trouble. Thank you. Thank you for listening.